World War I, often referred to as the Great War, was one of the deadliest conflicts in human history. It lasted from July 28, 1914, to November 11, 1918, involving over 30 nations and resulting in an estimated 20 million deaths and 21 million wounded. This global conflict was not only a battlefield struggle but also a transformative period that reshaped nations, borders, ideologies, and the very fabric of international politics. The root causes of World War I. The origins of World War I are complex and multifaceted. While the immediate trigger was the assassination of Archduke Franz Ferdinand of Austria-Hungary on June 28, 1914, in Sarajevo by Gavrilo Princip, a Bosnian Serb nationalist, deeper causes had been brewing for decades. These included 1. Militarism. European nations, especially Germany, France, and Britain, were engaged in an arms race. Military strength became a symbol of national pride, with huge investments in armies, navies, and new weaponry. 2. Alliances. Two main alliance systems formed: Triple Entente, France, Russia, and Britain. Triple Alliance, Germany, Austria-Hungary, and Italy. These alliances turned regional disputes into global confrontations. 3. Imperialism. Colonial competition led to tensions among European powers, especially in Africa and Asia. Control of resources and territories was fiercely contested. 4. Nationalism. Ethnic groups within empires, like the Slavs in Austria-Hungary, sought independence. Nationalist fervor also created rivalries between major powers. The war begins, 1914. After the assassination, Austria-Hungary, with Germany's support, issued an ultimatum to Serbia. Serbia's partial compliance led to Austria-Hungary declaring war on July 28, 1914. Russia mobilized in defense of Serbia. Germany declared war on Russia, August 1st, and then on France, August 3rd. When German troops invaded neutral Belgium to reach France, Britain entered the war, August 4th. This marked the beginning of what would soon engulf the world. Major theaters of war. The Western Front. Characterized by trench warfare, the Western Front extended from the North Sea to Switzerland. Germany's Schlieffen Plan, designed to quickly defeat France before turning east to fight Russia, failed at the Battle of the Marne, 1914. This led to a bloody stalemate. Iconic battles. Battle of Verdun, 1916. One of the longest and costliest battles, with over 700,000 casualties. Battle of the Somme, 1916. British and French forces launched a massive offensive, resulting in over 1 million casualties. The Eastern Front. Germany and Austria-Hungary faced Russia. The front was more mobile, with early victories for Germany at Tannenberg and Masurian Lakes. However, the vastness of Russia prevented a quick victory. Internal unrest led to the Russian Revolution in 1917, resulting in Russia's withdrawal from the war after the Treaty of Brest-Litovsk, 1918. The Middle Eastern Front. The Ottoman Empire joined the Central Powers in 1914. Fighting occurred in the Middle East, including the Gallipoli Campaign, 1915-16, where Allied forces failed to seize the Dardanelles. Arab revolts, led by Lawrence of Arabia, weakened Ottoman control. New weapons and warfare. World War I introduced brutal innovations in warfare. Machine guns and artillery caused massive casualties. Poison gas, chlorine, mustard, was used by both sides. Tanks made their debut in 1916 but were initially unreliable. Submarines, U-boats, targeted Allied shipping, especially by Germany. Aircraft were used for reconnaissance, bombing, and dogfighting. These advancements made the war more deadly and impersonal. The role of the United States. Initially neutral, the U.S. entered the war in April 1917. Key reasons: unrestricted submarine warfare by Germany, including the sinking of the Lusitania in 1915. The Zimmermann telegram, in which Germany encouraged Mexico to attack the U.S., stirred public outrage. America's entry brought fresh troops, supplies, and morale. Over 2 million U.S. soldiers, known as the American Expeditionary Forces, AEF, fought in Europe. Collapse of the Central Powers. By late 1918, Germany and its allies were exhausted. Bulgaria surrendered in September. The Ottoman Empire capitulated in October. Austria-Hungary dissolved into smaller states. In Germany, mutinies and revolution forced Kaiser Wilhelm II to abdicate on November 9, 1918. On November 11, 1918, an armistice was signed in a railway carriage in Compiègne, France, ending the fighting on the Western Front. Aftermath and the Treaty of Versailles, 1919. The war ended, but its political and economic impacts were just beginning. The Treaty of Versailles, signed on June 28, 1919, imposed harsh penalties on Germany. Loss of territories, Alsace-Lorraine to France, colonies to allies. Limitation of the German military. Reparations payments, set at 132 billion gold marks. Acceptance of war guilt, Article 231. This treaty sowed deep resentment in Germany and is often cited as a root cause of World War II. The human and social cost. Over 9 million soldiers died, millions more were wounded or maimed. Civilian deaths from starvation, disease and genocide, e.g. the Armenian genocide, were enormous. The Spanish flu pandemic, 1918 to 1919, killed more than 50 million globally, hitting war-torn populations especially hard. Societies were forever changed. Women entered the workforce en masse. Monarchies fell, Germany, Russia, Austria-Hungary, Ottoman Empire. Political ideologies like communism and fascism began to rise. Global legacy. World War I marked the end of the old world order. New countries emerged, Poland, Czechoslovakia, Yugoslavia. The League of Nations was established to prevent future wars, but it lacked real power and U.S. support. Colonial subjects in Africa and Asia began demanding independence, inspired by their war service and disillusionment with European leadership. World War I was not just a war of nations but a war of transformation. It revolutionized warfare, redrew the map of Europe, and laid the groundwork for the geopolitical struggles of the 20th century. Though the fighting stopped in 1918, its consequences echoed for decades, culminating in World War II just 2 decades later. Understanding the Great War is crucial to understanding the modern world.